You know what's in these files? In these files are the 6 harsh truth about men that I'd tell you if I was your father. We didn't want to unclassify these files because they're a little harsh, they're a little strong, and they may make some people cry. But nowadays, there's lack of trust in government, and because of that, we can't keep these things a secret. We gotta be an example of releasing the files. So today we're gonna release these files for you today and unclassify them right in front of you guys. And if you guys like these types of declassification, book a one-on-one phone call with me today, and then you could tell me your situation in classified order. Nobody's gonna find out. And I could give you my advice based on my deep experience, ladies and gentlemen, okay? And if you guys wanna check out my clothing, people, we sell clothes. That's right, I'm a painter, and I sell my clothes in painting. You can check it out in the description down below and buy my clothes and let me know if you do, man. And there's a free gift on the description down below. There's a lot of things in the description down below. Jesus Christ, long ass ad. Our first one is that judge a man by the quality of his family. If you want to know a man's character, look at how daddy treats mommy. If not how much he loves mommy, but how dad treats mommy, or how her boyfriends treated her, right? Look at The Godfather. Michael was like, I'm not like my father. I'm a little different, you know. I don't mess with dirty stuff, you know what I'm talking about. And guess what happened? He became the Godfather 2.0, right? Look at his siblings, right? Do they have any habits that are negative? Because siblings tend to be raised in the same environment, and it's true, sometimes they're different, but a lot of times they experience similar traumas, especially if they're closer in age, right? Look at family addictions. Is uncle addicted to crack? Is daddy an alcoholic? Does daddy smack mommy? All of these things will tell you, as unfair as it is, you have my permission, I would tell you it's okay to discriminate based on that, because yes, sometimes there's an exception to the rule, and I would tell you don't judge everyone like this, okay? True, it's true. But at the same time, just be vigilant, you know? Be vigilant. Is dad in prison? Be vigilant. Be vigilant, you know? Does mom, you get what I'm saying? Like, don't, and by the way, this is a family that's gonna be your family. So if they're going Jerry Springer mode all the time, it's not gonna change once you're there, boo-boo. It's not gonna change. Next one. Judge a man by his friends. Now look, if you're older, this might be a little different, because usually as you get older, your friends change, they die, or they get married, so it's true. But when you're younger, that's when you see people's you could sort of see the type of person that they are by the friends they have, right? The druggies usually hang out with each other. The OnlyFans models usually hang out with each other, right? The passport bros usually hang out with each other. The athletes, the people who go to church, judge a man by his friends. If his friends are a bunch of crackheads and he says he just watches them do it, even though it's true, there's just too much of a negative influence right there. Too much negative cracky energy. Judge him by his friends. It's unfair, it's true, but because, you know, their friends will tell you you're an average of all of your friends. And the problem is that he might tell you he's not like his friends, even though his friends might be belligerent and immoral. But understand that humans naturally have a lack of self-awareness with our negative flaws, right? We don't like to admit our flaws. We don't like to admit that we're the bad person, because everyone is the protagonist in their movie, and the protagonist is never bad. It's like the Matrix. Morpheus was the villain. What the hell? Why would you bring people out of the Matrix without letting them know what they're going into? He was the villain. As much as the computers were evil, they at least gave him a carrot or the stick. They took the carrot. Well, they forced him to take the carrot, but guess what? That was a paradise. So it's like, no, it's a lot of people have lack of self-awareness about their who they are. Next one, don't judge him by how much he earns. For all the Shearer fans, judge him by how he spends his money. That's what you should judge a man by how he spends his money. And the reason why is because, listen, I could be a YouTuber. Don't judge a man by how much he earns, because understand, money is a drug, and that drug can lead to more drug use. Success even Jesus said, remember Jesus said, be careful when you enter the land of milk and honey. I took you there, but be careful not to worship other gods. What does that mean? Well, what happens is that once you reach a certain level of success and prestige, something happens where you start deviating from what got you there, right? It's like meditation. Usually, people get into meditation because they're sad, but then once they get happy, they get out of meditation and they go back, right? A lot of addicts will tell you that losing all their money is the only reason why they wake up. And a lot of addicts relapse once they earn more. So be careful, right? So a man with money is not a man with money, is a man who knows how to save and keep his money. Now understand, some men save money out of compulsion, out of controlling mechanism, right? They like to control. So if they do save up a lot of money, if they're really good with their finance, observe if they have controlling problems. Right? Observe if they're very controlling, because then that'll tell you that it doesn't come from a good fruit. It comes from a negative fruit. It just looks good because you don't have the complete context, right? So you want a person who earns money, saves money, and then knows how to let go of control, right? Because a lot of the times we might see being prudent. Look at Trump. He doesn't drink. Trump doesn't get high. You might say, "Oh wow, he's so happy, he's so free and everything," but no, that don't mean shit. Anyway. Sorry, people. Father Alex. I used to like the orange guy, but he's been disappointing me in some topics. I'm an independent person per se. If you describe me, I undulate between both parties. To be honest with you, so right now I'm going left, and eventually I'll go right. Eventually. Oh my fucking God, Father Alex is a Nazi. Shut up. But yeah, man, by how much you spend. So just because he has discipline, don't be careful with people with discipline, because sometimes it just means they're control freaks. You want someone who knows how to control things in one area, but doesn't have that compulsive drive in another area, right? Because a lot of times you might sort of like confuse both of them. Men who lead with money might have an issue with ladies of the night. And this is for the sugar babies out there and for the women who like a man with money. If a man tries to win you over with gifts, with you know what we're talking about. It's okay for me to give you a gift. I could give you a drawing, okay? That's fine. But what I'm talking about here, people, is the gifts. A flight over here, impressing you with money. Guys like that are used to combining affection and love and fun with money. Be careful with them. They might cheat. And get them tested. Be very, very careful. Careful. Don't click off. Yeah, talking to you, Sheer fan. Careful. Last but not least, I always say this: men never do things just once. Okay? If he cheated with you because he has a wife, he's not gonna leave his wife for you. And if he does leave her for you, don't think that he's not gonna get another girl, because men never do things just once. If he hit his ex, he's gonna hit you again. If he cursed at you there, he's gonna curse at you again. If he cheated on you, he's gonna do it again. If he smokes crack, he's gonna smoke crack again. Always assume that about people. If somebody tells you they started taking pills at 15, don't expect them just because they're alive that they've stopped at 26. People rarely change compulsive habits. The reason why I put addiction a big part of this is because it's a secret killer of society. And the reason why is because most likely you might know men in your life that are addicted to gambling and you don't know it. They're just always broke. Or they might be addicted to gambling, to OnlyFans model. They might be addicted to pornography. They might be addicted to pills. You gotta understand, just because somebody doesn't smoke crack, just because somebody that doesn't smoke weed, doesn't do heroin, doesn't mean they don't have addictions. And addiction is really at the core of most people's flaws, honestly. Most of the flaws don't come from them, because most of us are born special. Most of us are born pure. That is a fact. It's just that when these compulsive habits become ultra compulsive and they can't control themselves, it takes away from who they are. And sometimes it doesn't even mean that they're addicted to drug. It could be that they're codependent, where they may not have any manifestation of injecting or putting anything in them, but that they're addicted to you in a unhealthy way. And it could be very exhausting. And that's also addiction. And it really comes down to their family dynamic. That's why observing, telling them, asking them to tell you these things. I don't want you to attack a person based on these things. I'm not saying that. I'm saying use that information wisely. Don't discard information. Negative facts about them are things that unfortunately you have to take into account. And they tell you it's only to it's you're protecting yourself using that to judge them and basing an image about them. You have to do that. It's very important. Like it's unfortunate because you got to remember I worked in addictions before. I worked with kids, and in the mental health field, and this is it's really whenever somebody has a personality shift or they start doing crime, a lot of these people are crime fueled or by addiction. A lot of these guys that hurt and destroy, kill their women, a lot of times there's drug addiction behind it. A lot of those times, you get what I'm saying. So watch out for that. Take that into account. It's a crazy world out there, and these are red flags that a lot of times you wouldn't consider to be red flags. But hopefully, this is why sometimes you feel like you did everything right and things didn't work out. There's a free gift in the description down below, my audiobook about how to get a guy to chase, and there's an ebook with that audiobook. Check it out or else I'm closing the channel. Take care. Do you give off Terminator vibes because you're so masculine? Or do you give off nice girl, creepy, and needy vibes because you're just too feminine? The problem is that both sides suffer greatly in their business life, relationships life, and friendships with family and friends. And if you don't know how to fix that, you will repeat the same pattern your whole life and never escape. Well, guess what? I have a course for you, and it's called The Feminine Woman. It's pretty much a course on how to increase your self-esteem through practical means, not through giving you guys affirmation and wishing that you stop being Terminators or you stop being needy and creepy goldfish. No, I'll give you practical things that by you doing this, if you're too masculine, I swear people will say there's something in you. You look more relaxed. You're just more comforting. You become more emotionally open because I teach you guys those strategies. It's a 5-week course. If you're too masculine, you are successful in life, you are successful in business, but you struggle with connecting. And so that course will give you practical things that if you're Terminator, you'll come out human, people. Like you'll just give off a more relaxed vibe. It's what I did in my life to heal me from my toxic masculinity. It's a 5-week course, and in that I teach you guys how to let go of the past. I teach you guys how to use your feminine energy to influence without being too sexual, which might sabotage you. I'll teach you guys how to use the masculine to be assertive without scaring people off because sometimes it could be too much. It's a course that balances those things out, okay? So if you go Bronx mode, if you're too Beverly Hills mode, I'll teach you guys how to go Bronx mode, or better yet, south side of Chicago type of shit. Well, now you're just a serial killer right there, right? And with this course has a 30-day money back guarantee, and if you purchase it, you guys also get access to the Zoom meditation group where we both meditate, or we all meditate on a weekly basis, and you guys get access to the WhatsApp group. And it's really a good course. If you guys don't like it, just ask for your money back. I mean, you guys can see the reviews right here. A lot of people like those reviews. And you'll see the results. And if you don't see the results, then I'll just give you your money back. Like I'm not gonna scam you guys if it doesn't work, but I know it's gonna work. So you do that now. Don't end up like Frida Kahlo. All right? Don't do that shit. Y'all just think you guys can break my rules and tell people you watch my channel. You can't do that. Okay? So purchase that right now. It's a lifetime. You get lifetime access to that course, and I'll see you guys inside. Take care. Let's continue with the video.